This is the house that Charlie Pugh built. Charlie Pugh was the lighthouse keeper here on Roanoke Island, and he's our great uncle. You can see the sign here. There's Jackson. And we're on Roanoke Island at C.W. Pugh's Bed and Breakfast, and behind us, as you can see, is the home that the brother of our great-grandfather lived in here on this island. And we'll go in and have a look. The house has been restored by Nancy and Wayne Gray. Wayne Gray is a distant cousin. Here's another view of the house from another angle. It's a beautiful old home. And we're going to go into the house now and have a look inside. We're inside the house now, and I want you to see some of these photographs. See if you can see them. This right here is Charles W. Pugh, you can see. And he's the guy who built this home. Over here is Delphin Daniels Pugh.
Little John Pugh, who was born January 2nd, 1829, who died February 24th, 1889. Why don't you get closer?
This is Cynthia Tillett Pugh. She was born in 1834 and died in 1916. And I believe that she was
No, they weren't none around then.
Now, what is this? This is is that a wood-burning stove?
That? No, that's electric.
Now this
oil
here.
heater. Oh, yeah, that's an oil burner.
Uh-huh.
They have a tank out in the back that feeds this.
Okay.
Just turn
Looks
it
like
on.
it'll keep you nice and warm. And it get pretty cold here in the winter?
It has a blower on it. You turn that on. Well, it gets kind of cool, but it's not really too bad here. We have kind of mild winters. Last year it wasn't bad at all.
But you don't ever get snow down this. I know they're in the
Hardly
mountains.
ever. We have had some snow, but not, we don't get it very often. Maybe one winter you won't get enough to make snow cream. We must always make snow cream used to.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is the only addition that I've done since I moved here. Is this porch closed in and this bathroom built on there. There weren't no bathroom here when I come here. That no electric lights. They had a gas plant over across the road that back of the store, but that had lights for the store and the house. That was run over here to the house. But I did away with all that. Put in electric lights when I moved here.
Is this your boat here?
That's one I had for years, yeah. An old Chris Craft.
Now, did you offshore in that?
I did some. But,
Yeah, they get pretty rough out there. That's for a boat that
most of my fishing with that rig was around the inlet. The last boats I run were diesel boats, bigger and had diesel motors. But that was the one I used for years fishing around the inlet.
Is this you in these pictures?
That's me there with my decoys, getting ready for parties, decoy fishing.
You said what's your first name? Was Wayland?
Wayland, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
Tour.
That was the breezeway there.
So this is part of the original house?
Oh yeah, all this is all the original. Now I did change that. That used to be the washroom where the cook or the maid or whoever she was did their washing. And of course I did away with that and put this petition here and opened it up for a breakfast room. There used to be a little place in the wall there where the cook would pass through food through to the the dining room.
So does that mean they had live-in help?
This was the old dining room. You can see some chum. Huh?
This is your fishing stuff, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, this is really the junk room.
Well, it looks like some good junk. You got some.
All that's fishing tackle and all that's fishing tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And all that's fishing tackle. Now boys, I don't know, it seems like they rather buy it than to someone else and to buy it from me. I decided I wasn't going to give them everything, you know. But anyway, the kind that I had then, that, you know, was kind of obsolete for them, so they want something different, new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's like that. Every generation's like that. They want to get their own, and
That's right.
with the latest gadgets and stuff on it. Talking about out back here.
Oh, that old barn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was old too. That was old barn. Well, he had horses.
My grandfather had horses.
Yeah, he had a horse.
Oh, well, I guess everybody had a horse then. That's how you got around, right?
Yeah, all that land over there was a field. That was corn growing in that.
I'll be darned.
All them pines, all that was a field.
Uh-huh.
Pines grew in there. Right out in the middle of the yard, you can't see it now, there's a kind of a lawn right there in the middle of the yard.
Yes.
There was a little house, and that's where the colored man, his colored man,
Mhm.
yard man, I'd say.
Uh-huh.
That's where he
lived. So when they abolished, I was looking in some old records, and
And Charlie Fletcher.
that was his name.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
On the corner right there, and that's where he kept it.
On the corner of this building here.
Well, you see where them old things are sitting up down there?
Yeah. Yeah. Now what's that? Is that a privy back there? Uh-huh. And do you? I saw in some of the records there was a Pugh's Landing. Is that here on the island?
Yeah, but it's not. It's down in this direction.
No, they don't call it that anymore.
Well,
Or do they?
Davis Landing. They finally changed. I think a lot of them not calling it Davis Landing.
Okay.
But anyway, that's where he landed his groceries and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Had a little boat named the Down Under, round bottom shad boat.
That was Carl. Carl had that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I wonder why I never saw him carve that particular boat.
Well, it was a little shad boat. I finally bought it and used it down in Hog Island when I fished the fishing gear after my uncle died. Then I finally sold it to one of the guys that did.
So he upped and left sort of in a hurry then.
Yeah, he did. That's why
Nobody ever really understood.
I don't understand why he did that.
Wish I could shed light on that mystery.
I guess he just made up his mind like quick goes.
Maybe his wife
Packed
was.
up and left.
Yeah, maybe his wife was putting the.
I expect she probably
Had something to do with it.
was the main one, probably.
Yeah. It might have been. I remember that hearing that she was always very jealous of the ex-wife. Now, did his first wife die, or
Yeah, she died. Virginia Brock.
how did she die? Do you remember hearing anything about?
No, I can't remember about that right over. I don't know if she had a typhoid or.
Was that common in those days?
See,
Yeah.
I just don't remember. I know she died. They were both school teachers when they moved here. Both my wife.
Mm-hmm.
There's a woman who lives right over here in the neighborhood, not far away from me, with name not right.
Oh, really?
Neil Austin.
Now, my uncle mentioned, maybe it was my uncle that you saw, St. Clair. He told me that there was a woman here on the island. He referred to her as sort of as the matriarch of the family, somebody who, was in her 90s, lived on the island here and knew, and maybe she was a tillet or a midget or somebody who had been, part of the family in some capacity. I'm trying to remember what her name was.
There's an old lady here that Carol Darling's 102 years old, but she wouldn't know. She wouldn't be able to tell you nothing.
Yeah.
She don't really. She's not.
It's being restored slowly by Wayland. And when you look at these, see all these shelves here, those are the original shelves from Pop's store. You can see they line both sides of the shop. And in the back here, the stairway goes up to some storage area. But in the back you can see where Pop's office was, where he conducted his business. That was where the steps to the office. Coming up these steps here. This is where my father probably played when he was a little kid. Right out in here. Used to be lined, all these shelves used to be lined with groceries, all kinds of foodstuffs and canned goods and little tools and things that you needed for the home. In the back there was a soda fountain. Over in the very back, where you could get yourself a fountain Coke, as according to what Wayland told me.
Oh, these boys, you know.
Yeah.
Different ones.
Neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe it's some Pugh boys that are tearing it down, putting it on their wall.
No, I don't know about that.
Are there still Pews in the area? I looked in the phone book and it looked like there were a number of around. I figured they got to all be related.
Yeah, there's not many. Mary Wells, Mary Hayes, she is now, was Captain Charlie Pugh's daughter. If you want to go see her, she lives out in Hometown.
Now where is that?
She can tell you all the history, a lot about the Pughs, you know, but she was Captain Charlie's daughter.
And where is Baumtown?
Well, if you want me to, I'll run up there and show you where it's at.
Okay.
When you get ready to leave.
Sure. Is it far from here?
No, not far.
I mean, it's on the island here?
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Here in Wanchese.
Sure. Well, let's run up there if you want.
A place called Hometown.
Yeah.
Well, tell them what you were telling me about
Yeah, I do
Sinclair
remember.
and the
You
fishing.
do too?
Remember who?
Carl Pugh.
Yeah, I remember Carl.
But yeah, tell them what you were telling me about.
But I remember
Sinclair,
Sinclair.
or Uncle.
Well,
That it was essentially one of those store.
this
operations.
shad fishing started, and most times moved to their fish camps the day after New Year's. You had a hell of a hard work
Yeah.
getting all them steak stuff.
And he owned the
jars,
operation.
And you didn't ain't much getting no net set for the 15th of February. Well, it was all over by the middle of May. And then you go down to the store. My daddy
He
used,
had a company store, which you heard.
my
of, type
daddy
of
used to
thing.
work from Claret. And he would have them to bring up maybe 50 pounds of sugar, barrel of flour. You didn't buy it in bags, you bought a barrel. And if they didn't have enough lard, we bought 50-pound can of lard. They'd bring it up there, worse apart. I lived up there with his radio station before I was born.
Yeah, we saw that.
And you raised the rest of your stuff.
So essentially, he didn't really pay money. It was just from the store that he would just get paid food, stuff,
Yeah.
staples.
Uh-huh. Kind of
But yeah, he was.
pay and trade.
Well, it was kind of like, have you ever heard how coal miners in a company store work? They would kind of take advantage of the workers. Is what it was.